Hi, Mary. I am trying to move myself out of the way. There we go. Um, it's going to be so much easier to show you how to get Lockdown Browser into your course navigation. I'm in the way no matter what I do. Whatever, there I am. Into this course navigation over here. So let me show you how to do that. So as you can see, I can't see it. It's nowhere, right? And of course, every quiz I gave in Lockdown Browser. So how does that work? To get Lockdown Browser to appear in the course navigation, what you want to do, let me get this out of the way, is come all the way down at the very bottom of your course navigation. You can see this settings option, and I'm going to click on that. And in this course, sort of details navigation, I'm going to or my settings, if you will. I'm going to go over here to this option, navigation. And this is where you're controlling everything that appears over here on the left-hand side. Okay. Now, anything that is above in this section where it says drag and drop items to reorder them into the course navigation. Okay. And then it says sort of drag items here to hide them from students. So everything down here is hidden from students. But here's the tricky thing about this. There are items like item banks or Lockdown Browser that are very teacher specific tools that if they're down in this section will also not be visible to you. And that's a problem. So I want Lockdown Browser to be visible. So I'm simply going to grab a hold of it and drag it and put it up into this section. Now, again, I can drag here to reorder. While you're here, I encourage you to put item banks up there as well. Okay. Because item banks are super helpful for building a bank of questions that you might use on quizzes. So that's something that you would want. And so those are two. You're asking about Lockdown Browser, but I'm going to throw item banks at you and add that in. Okay. Now, with those there, okay, so now they're going to appear in my course navigation. I've got to make sure and do this extra step where I save that. Now, notice right away, if you look over here on the left-hand side, there's Lockdown Browser, there's item banks, and there's no, crossed out, disabled visibility icon there. So I know that they're going to be visible to me. All right. And if I go home, I'm in my course, I'm rocking and rolling. Here it is. They're visible to me. But what's interesting is those two options, if I click on view as a student, they don't see those. So those are just for you in your management of the course. Okay, let me leave student view. Every time I do that, I lose my highlighter. Okay. All right. So that's how you get it there. Since we're here, let me just show you how to use it. And I think you do know how to do this, but I kind of feel like, okay, since I'm here, let me just do this. So once I click on Lockdown Browser, I am going to, and it's still working, I can see here are all the quizzes that I have, available to me. And there's lots that I obviously need to get rid of. Those had to do with my textbook. But if I wanted to, let me choose one. If I wanted to use this one, okay, I'm simply going to go to my settings and click on require respond as lockdown browser for this exam. Um, there are some options you might want to do, like especially with economics. There were times I enabled the calculator. Standard calculator will do with econ. I would think that that also is going to apply to like your accounting course or your business principles, that you want them to be able to access a calculator. So that would be one that's worth knowing about that you could click on, and then we're just going to save and close. And that's all you do to to make the lockdown browser work, and then the kids do their thing on their end on their iPads. Okay. Now that that's saved, I should be able to go to that. So there was the one I just did this to, this chapter one, primary source one, and now it says that it is required. Okay, this is proctoring, and you don't need that. Okay. I think that's it. If you have any follow-up questions, without a doubt, please make sure that you reach out to me and let me know. Okay. All right. See ya.